Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is BNHA 2nd Gen, Chapter 14, and this one is titled A Hint. Condor proudly walked around the agency with Kana beside him, explaining different things to the three students as they walked in and out of different rooms. As you probably know already, Seismic Kana and I deal more with organised crime, Condor said as he pushed open the forensics doorroom. Being a hero isn't always about taking down the bad guys in a big flashy way. Sometimes it pays to be sneaky. Ginny and Soshi nodded in agreement, while Chi scowled and crossed his arms even more. There's no way I'd ever want to be sneaky. My quirk is loud, flashy, gets the job done right, he thought. Looks like I've got a lot to show Condor. All you need to do is just walk up to the bad guy, explode the crap out of him. Job done. Condor noticed Chi's expression from the corner of his eye, but didn't say anything, opting to keep quiet as he led the kids around the lab. Fingerprints are obviously the cleanest piece of evidence to put someone away. Sometimes getting a matching fingerprint needs coordination of teamwork and subtlety, he said knowingly. If the crime scene's littered with ash or debris as a byproduct of a quirk, then you run the risk of contamination and the target getting away. Brains over brawn, he added, tapping his temple and glancing at Chi. The explosive blonde scowl deepened, knowing he'd been called out, but not yet realising that his defiance was clearly showing non-verbally. There was a moment of tense silence before the lab door opened again and someone walked in. "Oh, Condor, there you are," a guy in a clinical-looking lab coat said. "I was just looking for you in your office, but there's been another robbery." "Another one?" Condor asked, slightly surprised by this revelation as he turned his body towards the guy. "Jewellery again?" "Yeah," came the reply. "We have the staff member who is responsible for the crime in custody. He's down at the station. His story is just as strange as the others." Condor mused, rubbing his chin with his hand, his brow furrowing with concentration. "Is this a case you've been working on?" Ginny asked Condor excitedly, looking from the winged hero to the man who had entered and back again. "Yes, and we're a little mystified by it," the winged hero admitted. "There's just some things that aren't adding up. We can't quite work out what's going on." "What's happened? Maybe we could help," Ginny asked with vested interest, while Soshi nodded in agreement beside her. Condor looked at Kana, telling him through his feather what the conversation had just been. "I think it is okay," Kana signed to Condor. "This could be an introduction for them." Condor nodded in agreement, and then looked at the three interns. "Come back to the office, I'll debrief you on the case, as much as we know anyway." Ginny beamed from ear to ear, and tried to contain her excitement, but her soft squeal of delight was a dead giveaway. Condor thanked the guy in the lab coat, and then left the forensic room, and led everybody back up to his office, glancing at the very quiet Kana who was walking beside him and seemed to be thinking deeply about something. "Hey," Condor said to Kana through his feather that he had sat on Seismic Hero's shoulder. "You okay?" Kana's eyes shot up and met Condor's, a slightly panicked look on his face. "What's wrong?" Condor asked. I'm fine," Kana signed quickly, touching his thumb to his chest with his fingers splayed out and then pulling his hand from his body. "You're being very quiet." "I am deaf," Kana signed, his face deadpanning. "I am always quiet." "No, dummy, I mean you seem distracted by something," Condor said with a smirk. "You've been acting different since Bryce spoke to you." Kana blushed and looked away, scratching his cheek nervously. "I am fine. His fingers faltered, and he waved them to dismiss his sign. "I'm fine. I'm thinking about the case." Condor raised his pierced eyebrow at his friend, indicating that he didn't quite believe what Kana had just said, but nodded anyway. "If anything's on your mind, you know you can talk to me, right?" Condor telepathized. It's a new word. I don't think telepathize actually exists, but fight me. I'm going to make it a word. Kana then smiled gratefully and signed thank you as they rounded the corner to the office. Condor paused momentarily as they approached the door of his office, and he beamed from ear to ear as he grabbed a hold of the doorknob. "Hey, Mum," he greeted as he pushed the door open, his large white wings vibrating with happiness when he saw the sweet-looking older lady. "Oh, hi, honey. I thought I'd just drop by to... Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realise you had students today," she said when she saw Ginny, Soshi and Chisuki walk in behind Condor. "Students, meet my mum," Condor said proudly. "She has an amazing quirk, of which I'm most grateful for. Thanks to her genetics, I can talk to Kana," he said, shooting Kanaka a soft look as he repeated the line telepathically to the deaf hero. Kana smiled bashfully and gave Mrs. Takami a wave, and she smiled and waved back, asking how he was in sign, to which he gave a thumbs up. "Sorry, hun. I'll wait for you to finish with your interns, and I'll be back. Did Uncle Brian come in earlier?" Mrs. Takami asked. "Yeah, he did," Condor said with a chuckle. "Is he still here?" she asked. "No, Kana said he went home." "Mum, can we chat in a second? I'm almost done here," Condor said with a bit of an embarrassed look on his face. "Oh, sure, sweet. Sorry, I'll wait outside," she said before giving Ginny, Soshi and Chisuki a polite smile each. "You're in good hands," she added with a wink. "Thank you, Condor is amazing," Ginny piped up. Mrs. Takami smiled again, then quickly slipped around the group and silently headed out the door. "She looks like my mum," Ginny thought with amusement as she watched Mrs. Takami leave. "There's something similar about them." "I wonder if Mrs. Takami and my mum are related," Soshi thought as he watched the older lady close the door behind herself. "They have the same cheekbone structure. Why the hell does she look like an older version of my mum?" Chi thought as his confused gaze continued to stare at the closed office door. "Please take a seat, and we'll start," Condor said as he walked to his desk and half sat on the corner of it, spreading his legs a little over the wooden edge, looking very hot indeed. And there's chapter 14 done and dusted. Stay tuned for chapter 15 coming tomorrow.